Hey everybody, how are you? My name is Diana if you don't know, and today I am gonna be blogging about Moscow because I went to Moscow in January and I had a great time. I got to see one of my very best friends and it was amazing. And the thing was that it's not a regular flight. So I was not working that flight, and it's very different because for us, whenever I'm operating a flight, I only have 24 hours or less to stay in that place, and I have to stay in a hotel. And of course, the flight is where I work, so I know exactly like what time is going to be the flight to go there and what time is going to be the flight to come back, and that's like 100% secure. But then whenever I go on vacation or whenever I just have some days off here and there and I want to go see one of my friends, like this case, I have to book a ticket as a passenger. And the good thing is that we have very good deals on not just my airline but other airlines. We have discounts and all that, so that's really good. We're very lucky to have these discounts, but on the other hand, they are not secure. So meaning we get like sometimes even 90% discounts, but we can only get into that flight if the flight is not full. So if the flight is full, then we lose that flight and we have to wait for the next one, and then it can become a problem, especially if you just have like few days off here and there, and especially because you want to make sure you make the most out of those few days you have. So in this case, I don't remember if I had 3 or 4 days off, but I just knew that I had to buy the ticket that is right after the flight that I'm actually operating. And to some places, we have like 2 or 3 flights a day. So that's really good because then I have like options. For this case, I bought the ticket that was at midnight and I landed around 6 or so. So I got home and then I had to change quickly, and also what I do is I leave my bag fully packed, ready to go. So whenever I organize my luggage for my previous flight, the one that I was operating, I make sure I do 2 luggages. One that's for work with the luggage that I use for work, and the other one is my own personal luggage, which also drives me to that point, which is that whenever I do these very short trips to go see my friends, nothing's like confirmed, nothing's like 100% this is what's gonna happen. As it is when I'm operating flights, like I just said. I like to make sure I don't carry a lot of things and I only have a carry-on, because if I have the big luggage, that's gonna be a problem. In the airport, it takes longer to do the checking, to carry the whole bag, and you have so many things, and you have to be waiting, and then once you land, you have to go pick it up, and that takes long too. And what if it gets lost or something happens, So I don't like to have this problem, especially with the short time I have. So I try to put everything in just one small carry-on, because also sometimes, also in Istanbul, when I went to see my other best friend, I had to walk a lot with the carry-on, and that's fine, but because it's a carry-on. But then I don't even want to imagine walking like in a city that I've never been to, and especially these 2 times were in winter. So imagine if it rains or if it snows or something, and I'll be with all these bags on the streets, in the metro, So it is a little complicated. So better to be safe than sorry, and just bring the smallest thing you can. Also in winter it's hard because just one coat, it's like already the bag is fully packed. But at least try and do the best you can. And this was a last minute decision because I wasn't sure if I was gonna have enough time to go see my friend. And actually I remember like few days before the actual flight, I texted her and I was like, hey, because we were planning this, but I was like, I'm not sure, I just have like 3 or 4 days and I have to make sure that I'm back in my base at least 12 hours before my working flight. so that also cuts time. So like few days before the flight, I texted her and I was like, hey, like, do you think I can still make it? And she was like, yes, please come, we're gonna have a great time. And so I did. And like I said before, I want to make sure every time I do these flights that I make the most out of the time that I have. So the few days I have, I want to make sure that I use them wisely. Every hour counts. So I landed around 6-7 p.m. and then my flight was at midnight. So that just gives me room to go home, get my bag, eat something, take a shower, change, and then go back to the airport in a different section. That's also very interesting because I think like, wow, like this morning I was operating a flight and I was landing here and leaving from this other side, and then now I'm a passenger on a different flight and I'm exhausted. So usually that's the case. I'm so tired, but it's all worth it because I get to go to new places, and especially if there's one of my best friends there that, you know, I'm so happy to see. So that was me this time. I went there and I was thinking like, oh, I'm gonna sleep on the flight and it's gonna be great because I was gonna land like very early morning. So I thought that, but then of course on the flight you have to eat and it's not even that long of a flight. So I was up the whole time. So I landed there and my friend was so sweet to go and you know, wait for me, and she picked me up with her sister who also lives there, which was amazing, by the way, to have both of them there. And then we took like a fast track type of train thing. I still don't know the name of it, that only takes you to the airport, and there's actually two. There's one that's the old one and one's that is the new one, the fast one, and it's more expensive also, but a little bit. And so another amazing thing was that my dear friend Ali, she brought some warm clothes for me because she knew that I am very weak in winter. I'm very weak when it comes down to cold. I don't tolerate cold. So she was so sweet. She brought like some clothes for me, and she brought boots and hats and all that. So I was having the best time of my life in Moscow in winter. I thought I was gonna freeze, but it was amazing with all the things she brought. I was feeling great. It was cold, but it was not as bad as I thought. And so this is how my day started in Moscow. You know, for breakfast, to see a little bit of Moscow during the day, because, you know, by the time I left the airport it was like 7 a.m. or so. So we had the whole day. But we realized that I was so tired because I didn't sleep since the day before. And also my friends were tired as well. So we decided to go for a nap. At night we went to see the lights. And oh my god, I was so impressed because I went in January, like I said, and they still had the Christmas lights going on. And oh my god, like I had seen already lights in Europe, in Asia, like in so many places, but wow, like Moscow lights. If I can recommend you to go to Moscow at some point, even though it's cold and all of that, try to go during like the holidays, the Christmas holidays. It is so beautiful. On one clip you will see what I say, like what I compare it to because that's how amazing it was. It is so beautiful. It's like a magic place. There's lights everywhere. So I'm gonna stop here telling you about it. I prefer you to see it for yourself. So here goes the video.
¿Dónde estamos yendo? Una sorpresa.
Ah, ya.
La iglesia de Cristo Salvador. Y de ahí vamos a caminar.
Eso suena tan poco ruso.
Y es hermoso, es hermoso.
Aquí congelándonos. ¿A cuánto estábamos, más o menos?
A menos
O menos.
o algo así.
Ah, ya.
Ya confirmamos.
Ya confirmado. Regresa en 3 segundos y le avisamos. Venga a conocer Moscú porque vale la pena. Ay, mira, mira qué lindo. No, o sea, por favor. Wow, o sea, esto está ni Disneylandia. Me encanta Moscú, aunque ni siquiera hace tanto frío. Está frito, pero con tanta capa de ropa está ideal. Me encanta. Está muy lindo, los árboles de Navidad y los castillos y las luces. The horses. Están full enormes. No sabemos a dónde con la verdad.
Los montamos.
Dígame. Wow, esto está qué bonito. Las puertas nomás ya es como precioso. Y por adentro, wow. Qué bonito.
Bagражник, Красная площадь, закрыта.
Amor a primera vista. Yo todo hago videos de comida, ¿sabes? Como que vivo comiendo. Qué rico. Pero esto se ve. Ñam, ñam. Es el pollo que dijiste, era pollo. Se ve. ¿Cuál es un postre típico aquí?
Later on, we went out again, and it was great because I got to see my friend's husband, who's from Russia, so that was great as well. And I already know him, so we went on a crazy adventure back in Ecuador a few years ago, and so yeah, and we even had an accident there. It was crazy, and that's how we became friends.
Tell us about it. What?
It's not typical.
Se muere. ¿Se dan cuenta?
¿En serio? No.
Es así, verás.
Ay, no. Así que.
Como que, ay, no.
Ay, no. Hay que perderle el miedo. A la vida. Ay, cosita peluda. No le dará frío la existencia. Ay, he estado subiendo video.
put some pictures here and there. We had a lot of pictures going on and a lot of laughs, and it was amazing.